so we're gonna get straight into it. I felt like that was something I was gonna say before getting into this, but now if it's important, it'll come to me. Alright, new episode. The girl, let her go. What the... Shut up. Come closer and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Is that meant to be like a film, or? I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my long-time mentor, Mia Fey. Terry Falls. Charged kidnapping, murder, sentence, death penalty. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. The very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Oh, shit. Interesting that we started this game off with, it was the first case that Mia, it was the case Mia took that, to defend Phoenix, if I remember correctly. It's interesting we're going even further into the past, because that case was kind of used as a tutorial. And, like, I would assume that if this was kind of her first case, this would be a bit more like a tutorial again, but also, there's a lot of, like, extra elements in this case that weren't part of other games, like that whole film grain thingy. Like, I don't think we've had, like, many filters like that over footage, or over, like, you know, flashbacks. And then, and then the whole, like, case file thing. Weird that the game decides to pull that out now. I'm surprised those elements weren't kind of brought in a bit earlier, but... February 16th, District Court. Oh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia.
I didn't do nothing. I swear, I didn't kill nobody.
Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere.
But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago.
Sorry. I told a little lie.
Oh boy.
But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody.
Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm really, really sorry. Sentence me to die. Hey, Wiley, how's it going?
Sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that.
2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed, and about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, Did you meet a policewoman?
Yeah, well, I did. She's the reason I escaped.
So that much is true. You did meet with the victim.
But I didn't kill her! She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true.
I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Well, mate, you? Yeah, doing alright. Having to look for places to move, which is stressful. Worrying about how I'm gonna... Oh, worrying about, like, just... Yeah, just that in general. Yeah, I took time off around Easter because I was just kind of... Moving back into the office and shifting my sleep schedule back to something that works for that has just been hit and miss. And I don't think I've adjusted that well so far. Huh. Oh.
You're not gonna figure out the truth by just start staring at the guy.
You're... Why are you here?
I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in Big Scary Lion's Den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with.
Where is Mr. Grossberg?
That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando.
I didn't say... So Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me. Huh. Interesting. So for context, Wiley, this person, I believe, or someone very much like him, is the person we've been across from in the courtroom for most of the game, going by a completely different name. So the fact he's turning up here 6 years earlier in the game's timeline is interesting.
No, you've got it all wrong. Today you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for a first client.
Yeah, thanks. Sure wish I could get out of it, though.
Relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well.
Really?
It's going to be Edgeworth. However, like a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned a reputation as a genius since beginning his law career.
Genius?
Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time.
Solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, that's... Oh god, was that the Canadian judge? Or is that a different person? Oh, no, wait, is this the judge, but just younger? Because I guess Godot has, like, grey hair in, 6 years later, but right at the moment he has coloured hair. So I guess I'll do the judge, but less gravelly.
Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey.
Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor.
So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? And so you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age.
At 20, Your Honor. Well, I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh?
Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you.
Young people running a trial. Not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row.
2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. There's something weird about these sprites that I feel like I need to point out here. They just seem a bit off proportion-wise, and kind of limb position in particular, which is weird because in the previous, well, actually, in the flashback Mia has, I feel like her sprite was a bit more better, realized, I guess, and Edgeworth's definitely has been better, more well animated and drawn than in this bit here. I wonder if this is an extra sort of thing added on with the trilogy as well. Truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was certain witnesses' testimony. Witnesses' testimony? Testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. Which isn't quite what we were shown in that flashback. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Smith Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. I should actually look at this. Valerie's autopsy report. Stabbed with a knife in the back, died from blood loss between 4 PM and 5 PM. My profession... my client sentenced to death 5 years ago, escaped from custody 2 days ago, police officer and the victim, the key witness in the case against Falls 5 years ago, a hotshot lawyer, my senior and rival at the office, a bit smug, dubbed a genius as soon as he started as a prosecutor. Today's his court debut. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha! I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago. With only one thing on his mind. Take revenge against the woman who convicted him. That is projection much. Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. What the Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Edgeworth, you're like 20 and younger than us. What the fuck? Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Gumshoe, I presume. There he is. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. Oh shit, a Monday morning PW stream. That's right, because I got a day off. How you going, Diz? Finally got promoted to detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really... Oh my god, Gumshoe, keep it together, man. Excuse me? But no, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Ugh. Okay, I got it. Watched the last one a few hours ago to catch up. Oh, nice. Good timing. Now, Detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of it. Or, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. Okay. I warned you Armstrong would involve some offensive dialogue some time ago, but it's been so long it makes sense you forgot. Well, sure, I guess... I mean, yeah, you did say that, but, like, how much, when, and how bad is... Like, yeah... yeah, I couldn't say without spoiling. Well, yeah, obviously, but, like, that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna hope that it doesn't happen, you know? Or, like, actually talk about it when it does. I see. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. And unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor. What is up with the sprites here? I'm so confused. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Oh no, it is the Canadian judge. Well, too late. I've given it in this voice. Kudo's cross-examination is probably the #1 reason I hate that case. Yeah, that's fair. I really wanted to see your reaction to Kudo's trial, but looks like Twitch already let it go. No, I highlighted that, or I should have. Oh god, don't tell me I missed... Fuck me, did I miss a goddamn, episode? I thought Twitch automatically removed past streams. It's in highlights. I highlight all of my streams, so they're always there. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. This case is really great, if I remember correctly. Well, I guess we'll find out. The day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Oh, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, the defense, please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, right? Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Huh. You got me there. Maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos and you stayed up all last night watching. They're the incident unknown person phone. This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, top secret memo that she left in her desk. Confidential police materials written by the victim. Take a quick look at that. February 14th. Falls, 4:30 PM at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Okay. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one who said that unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time. Bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why. Well, what do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Turning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found this criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move! We've got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? If that's what happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. Only I had noticed it earlier. Maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and made a getaway. Mr. Falls had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, man. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. Not sure how I feel about car thieves. Okay. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? Thank you, Mia. This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Photo added to the court record. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? So the one thing that leaps out to me is this. Although I suppose that's not really that surprising. Although I would note that, like, the distinct lack of blood here is would probably be cause for second thought, but... And I could probably contradict that here, because I do have, died from blood loss. Like, if she died from blood loss and she was in the back of the trunk, you'd expect there to be, like, a lot of blood that poured out. Now, they have argued just before that, like, she was wearing a heavy coat, so you probably wouldn't see any of it, or you probably wouldn't see as much, but I would argue that, like, dying from blood loss specifically would probably still leave, like, an amount of blood. But Falls was arrested at the checkpoint. Can I... What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am.
I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing.
That's all he says.
Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car.
It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And he always says...
Sorry. I told a little lie.
Or something like that.
Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested.
Precisely. Mr. Falls was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. It certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. Him numbing on the steel ball, yeah. Actually, yeah. I set up that checkpoint just after 5 PM. Figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 PM. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. Was kind of close. Any later, and Mr. Falls could have slipped right by.
Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony.
A trap?
Walk into it carelessly, and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh?
No, it's not.
Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards.
You have a famous contradictions. Sure hope I can find some of these.
Or those.
Alright, I'm gonna give this a shot. Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement?
I don't think anything of it. How about you?
I guess I don't think anything of it either.
And we don't have a problem, but we do have a penalty.
Like, the way this is phrased feels like bait, right? Like... Oh, that'll be it. Where's the white scarf? Oh. Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Fay? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that.
You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Fay, I'm not sure I like this.
Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy?
Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee.
She's like... Oh, we don't have Mia's profile. Like, she's at least older than Miles. Fuck off, Diego. Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus this special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Ah! Poor Gumshoe. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you're searching so desperately for... Is it this one, perchance? Ah, no, that's blue. Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. I'm not sure I has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Worn by the victim at the time of the incident found on Dusky Bridge. Why is there no blood on it? Now, if the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is alright with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we've done with this business, with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we'll show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kid, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. Genius, huh? Events on Dusky Bridge. I guess he was just teasing. Oh, well. I mean, he is, but that doesn't make it, like, any better, in my opinion. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. Shows the Vic wearing the scarf, the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. It's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo, I really get the sense that, that this bridge is very high up. Also, like, Terry is carrying his ball and chain. How the fuck did he stab someone? It was about a 40-feet drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say it was a well-intentioned third party. Ah, potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, good. Seems to have been taken by the witness. So, as you can see, Terry Falls had the opportunity, the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. No, not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. Hmm? What do you mean, hmm? Okay. Let's look at that photo again real quick. I'd love to stick around, but I don't have a day off, and I just got promoted, so I should definitely be awake tomorrow. I'll check this one later. Yeah, no worries, Diz. I appreciate you sticking around. Have a good one, and congratulations on your promotion. That's great. Okay, so there's a couple of things in this photo that are, a bit weird. For one, like, the right hand of Valerie is hidden, which squints at the screen. Oh, thank you, you too. But like the thing that really strikes me is the fact that Terry is like carrying his ball and chain, right? Now, you could probably make an argument that like, well, I mean, of course he would have dropped it to stab Valerie, but first of all, Valerie is facing him, and second of all, dropping a ball that is weighing you down on a suspension bridge that is 40 feet up from the river seems like a really fucking bad idea. There needs to be more here to establish that Terry had the opportunity to stab Valerie in the back. We've got to probably got to show why that is, or why that there needs to be more. Actually, there's an eyewitness who said when the incident took place, this photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind, stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back, and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? It doesn't mean that you push someone down like that once. With his mind-boggling tales and the way he says brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Okay, I'm glad I was, like, really, on the ball on that one. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. Court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. Court record, huh? The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Because, like, this is a leap in logic, right? We've got the photo. Cool. That establishes that they met. But then, anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind. Like, well, okay, hold on a second. That photo doesn't establish that. I'm pretty sure that should be, like, a reasonable line of reasoning here, but... touch wood, I guess. No. Ugh. That must have been when the scarf fell off. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? Well, that's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from the rain. The bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but... there's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean. Of course I do.
So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. There's an eyewitness who saw when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Actually, hold on. If this is the, like, rock face, right, of the cliff, that means that the picture was taken from around, like, here-ish, and looking out to the center. If her scarf fell off around here, because, I mean, I'm, again, presuming you're standing here, you can only see, like, this section of the bridge, right? If the scuffle happened here, I wouldn't expect the scarf to be in the dirt anywhere over here. I'd expect it to fall into the fucking river. Just really not sure how to approach showing that. I'll press the rest of it and see what I can get. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. It's probably Lotta. Female college student? That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, man. And she doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? It means she's female. Yeah, we get it, Gumshoe. You absolutely must hear her testimony. You'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was taken extending, but yep. The victim is wearing a scarf in the photo, alright. So, about the witness who took this photo, what was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on the mountain, Miss Fane. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is it a ghost? I don't believe it! No, Your Honor, no, I don't think it's a ghost. It's drizzling that day, unfortunately, it's a little, yep. Drizzling, huh? That's right, there was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. Not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case... The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Did we press this already? Oh, yeah, we did. This is where Armando is like, haha, the court record seems to have wet itself. I don't... I mean, is that just not directly contradicted by the photo? No. Oh, look, I'll take the hit on that one. That's fine. It's like, how was she stabbed? No one in this photo is holding a knife. And I seriously doubt Terry had one. Ah, god damn it. What am I supposed to be doing here?
Criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Pointing fingers are made for pointing. God damn it. There's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Is that the part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. Pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. Remember that? Yep. Huh. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. Court record, huh? Like, unless... Oh, unless, Oh boy, I'm having a rough time with this one. I'm just gonna call him Godot, because he's Godot. Godot seems to be making a big deal about this particular statement in the court record. Like, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Like, I could say from this photo that there are a couple of things that don't make sense here, where how did Terry get behind Valerie to push her? Moreover, how is he able to stab her if he's like literally carrying the ball all the time? It's been an hour and we've made barely any progress. This is what I thought the last stream was going to be like, where I just like sit here in court and fucking just do not understand what the hell is going on. Didn't we... Hang on. There was something in this that talked about the scarf. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. From what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, man. The area was wet from rain, and the bridge was probably wet too, which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but... something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Yeah. Does that not mean it would have had blood on it? Oh my god. Oh, unless I present the autopsy report. No. God damn it. God. What? Okay. Photo was accidentally taken by it. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Isn't the fact that there's no blood on that also weird? Unless that's what the stains actually are. I'm fucking really stumped by this one. Jesus Christ. I didn't think... Oh, fuck off Discord. I didn't think I'd get, like, caught up on this so early, but... fucking here we are. Alright, clearly I'm missing something. Oh my god, this is gonna take too long to fucking look through. Fuck it. Okay, hold on. So, I've been hung up on the fact that the state of the scarf. I think I need to let that go. Because clearly I'm, like, I'm not getting anywhere thinking about that at the moment. So let's just assume that the scarf would actually get muddy if it was knocked off on the bridge. Like, I just have to accept that. Because I keep thinking, like, well, no, it should have fallen off the bridge and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I guess the fact that Gumshoe talked about falling off himself probably rules out, like, like, falling off of the bridge if you fell. So, like, I guess kind of looking at this, or, like, I might be a bit of ahead of myself talking about, like, how did Terry have the opportunity? Struggle between the criminal and the victim. You know, where do we... The area was wet from rain, the bridge was probably wet too, which would explain why the scarf was covered in mud, but something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Okay, so yeah, let's assume that you can... Let's assume that the scarf got muddy because of her being pushed down. I guess that's sort of the implication here we're just going with, that, oh yeah, it's reasonable to assume that if you... Oh. Oh, okay, hold on. Maybe... one... Oh, god damn it. Yeah. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a general soggy atmosphere. There's a light gone down a bit. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Oh, well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions of the day? I think it's just her front. Naturally, the answer is right here. But the victim's coat? As far as I can see, there is nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Yeah. Ugh, fuck, I'm so dumb. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. I don't know if that's true. Like, a wet bridge, like, a bridge that is, well, that no one is walking across because the damn thing is broken, in the rain is not going to be inherently muddy. Like, I guess you could argue that because it was it would have been muddy because the two people were walking across it then? I don't know, that's why I never really latched onto that. I was just kind of like, okay. I guess I could have also come from the thought process of why isn't the coat, like, wet or anything like that, but again, like, a photo like this, I didn't think detail like that would stand out. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. Okay, if your honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your gorgeous hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? Surface of the bridge, huh? Real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. I assume it's the scarf, right? I don't know about this. Like, the entire... I guess the witness testimony puts the confrontation on the bridge. And therefore the scarf could only have gotten muddy if the surface was muddy. So the fact that the scarf is muddy and it... Well, no, because the testimony also said that the witness didn't see the... I don't know, something stinks about this. I don't know if this logic follows that as well as it's putting. The evidence is the scarf. Oh. It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Ugh. No. Can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Whoa! Excuse you? Hey, same to you, buddy. Woof. Edgeworth misogynist moments. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction here between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Which, meta-knowledge, if this is Lotta, just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? False evidence. It's one of those three. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into the court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. False evidence in this case is the witness's testimony. I think the photos are pretty solid, but the witness's account of what actually went down is the problem here, I feel. I like how I was like, yes, no, I'm 100% right. Let me just save... It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. There was a truly decisive witness in this case. I'm certain that Boy Wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Yeah. I don't need the witness's statement. I don't need the witness to testify to win this case. Actually, if the witness testified, I'd be fucked. That's why I'm playing like I don't. Good job, Edgeworth. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth.
Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time.
What Miss Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth?
Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Miss Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes.
This is it, Mia. Battle begins here.
Witness, what is your name and occupation?
Oh. Oh no. Okay, that's a little worse than Lotta. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. Did you know he's Canadian? Did you get it? Did you get it? Fuck me. Armstrong is a strain of well, I guess he's like the one of the readings you could make is that Armstrong is absolutely not French, but like the style of like communicating nationality and stuff like that happens with changing the text to match the accent is it's heavy-handed, but like it's not as heavy-handed as, hey, did you know that I like
Canadian thing that Canadians like A,
and
thing that Canadians like B.
Like, fucking... I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey, not so fast.
As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Fay, you could learn a lot from this man.
He's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir?
Eh? Yes, my dear?
This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause.
Not at all. It's no trouble at all.
Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. Was that your name? Hold on, I'm actually going to look up my own VOD for that, because I actually don't think that's her name, but I can't for the life of me recall if it was or not. There you are. Dahlia. I knew that name sounded familiar. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department.
You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct?
And you were the one who took this photo.
Is that accurate?
Wow! How can you be so mean? Yeah, yeah, this is her aim, to get everyone in the court on her side, so that when we start accusing her of being who she actually is, that there's, like, a lot of rebuttal to it. Oh boy, I didn't actually think we'd get round 2 with this woman. Huh? But it's just a photograph, it's not like it's something dangerous. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh, I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey. I see. So you are. Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wild flowers. Then I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. After that, I called the police. You didn't get the crucial moment. You got, like, them just standing there. Fuck off. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. Okay, so I already posited that it should be, like, south, because you can see, like, the cliff. You can see the cliff on this side of the image. Well, I literally have the photo. So you can see this cliff face here, which, if we match it up with the map, means that she was probably around here, looking out towards the middle of the suspension bridge, which is important because she should not be able to see anything on the left side of the bridge or near the car. I'm at least pretty confident I've got my head on right about that. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh, what a cute camera, just like its owner. Melissa Foster took the witness's photo with this small but powerful model. Alright then, Miss Fey, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again, and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Always siding with the witness. Even when they're terrible pieces of shit. I was using my camera to take some pictures of the then I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly they started fighting. That's when I hurried and took a photo that shows the crucial moment. Bullshit. Why did you take a photo? Well, the 2 of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. Oh yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. So you wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was to use my camera, so I took the photo at the crucial moment and gave it to the police. That is bullshit. I'm still gonna save them. Witness. When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are 2 people facing each other. You testified that you saw the 2 of them starting to fight. Normally that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see... The photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Don't. What was... my apologies, young lady. But Miss Fey's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry. A very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. Ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? So she missed it. Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wild flowers. I don't believe that for a second, Edgeworth. I don't believe that at all. You lying piece of shit. Witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Oh, please, no details. It seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo? Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes? Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy's really a sucker for sweet talk. Huh. Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. I'm getting... I'll make a comment later if it comes up again. As using my camera to take some... then I noticed there were two people... Oh, suddenly they just started fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. That's bullshit. The victim. Why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. It had been a what, sorry? Quaggy? Yielding easily to pressure or weight. Oh, okay. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Good on you, Edgeworth. Quaggy, are you? If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. There's something wrong with this testimony. It sure is. Because... So, the photo in question is taken from here, right? Which means that Terry is on the left side of the bridge section, and Valerie's on the right. Which means that if she turned around, she would have been running off the broken part of the bridge. That's not what happened. Clearly, that's not what happened. I think I can present this for that. I really hate doing save scumming in that, but like the fact that I've taken so many hits already, I don't want to be in a position where I get locked into having to present something that will take away the rest of my health and having to reset every single time that happens. It's just gonna take too long. Yeah, there we go. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You said there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have run even 5, because Dusky Bridge has collapsed on that side. the fuck out, Melissa. What does this all mean? It's very simple. It's very simple, Your Honor. The fuck? Come on, Light. Don't do this to me. Oh, shit. Actually, I wonder if I can prop this open. Sorry, 1 second. Oh my god, come here. Oh, god damn it. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. No, we can do better than that. Sorry, 1 sec. God damn it. Alright, that's a bit better. At least I know now that shining light on that wall is actually going to light up the room a fair bit. I should remember that when I move. It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! Can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure, Edgeworth. That guy's good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. A diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward. Well, Miss Fay, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No, it wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. Alright, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
Missing such violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up.
If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished.
Don't say that.
Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favourite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte.
This trial isn't over yet.
That's what I like to hear.
Alright, Miss Fay. Your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on to the attack. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it is. After he stabbed her in the nose, then he carried her over to the car. Bullshit. I don't think you saw that. You personally witnessed that? Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not. But that's when the victim's scarf fell off. Hmm? You mean this scarf? Fuck me, I was right. The scarf didn't fall off during... The words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I don't think you could have seen that. Fuck you. Don't ask me to confirm your facts. Sorry, this is my first time handling a case. Well, let's make it a memorable occasion with a penalty. Oh, fuck you. Make sure the body stayed hidden. Wouldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Okay, I guess we'll press all of this then. I don't think she could have actually seen him take the body to the car because of where she was, but... Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Actually, maybe she did fall... Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. Don't need to be so rude. Well, young lady. Of course she didn't fall down. Thanks, Edgeworth. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. One step too slow. And then what... and then, what did the defendant do after that? Then he carried her to the car. I'm gonna repress this. Personally witnessed that. Yes. Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off. Hmm? You mean this scarf? The words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. Suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow. Why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. Could we just leave the body on top of the bridge? Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks. They just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body? Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face... So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face? Well, they were far away and it was raining as well. I thought it was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent! You're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey kitten, have you ever put salt in your coffee? No. Why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well, after all. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms, and he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. I mean, why not throw it off the... No, that's trash. We were literally just talking about the fact that... like, throwing bodies into this river, like, means that they're never gonna get discovered. Can I present that as a thing, though? I don't know if that actually makes sense to present. Yeah, okay. A killer not wanting his victim to be found, I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah! In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, you could bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the river, or in the water. Order! Not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay. But I must admit it does seem odd to not have thrown the body into the river. Oh. Well, Miss Edgeworth. How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit here after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. Well, that's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Ugh. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who's he talking about? Alright, I'll do my best. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly put her in her arms, and he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. Bullshit! You did not see that. Couldn't just leave it at the top of the bridge. Okay. Now. Now I should be able to present this. You did not see that. Well, Miss Foster. Looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Fay? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you try to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. Ah! That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. Bullshit, the photo disproves that. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. Huh? I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah! Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff. But still, you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! I wonder if we're actually gonna uncover who this woman is. Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Ballyhoo. I don't know. Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh. Mr. Judge?
What is it?
I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that.
Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Oh, this again? Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here, even though she's been lying from the fucking start.
What? That's not fair.
Save the tears for later, kitten.
Mr. Armando?
Don't look back until the trial is over. Now's the time to go forward.
But that wasn't fair.
Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony.
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk?
Aha.
Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness?
Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain there were scratch marks from when he broke into it. Okay, but again, how did you see that? So she did see the car.
That's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken upon. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied?
Judge on her side. Can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? I wish I saved earlier so I could reread that, but... Oh, I think I know what happened. The photo has a timing function on it, and, which means that she could potentially, like, so we know, for example, that, Dahlia was informed about this, to some degree. She knew that it would happen at 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. So, she could have easily set up a camera to take that photo and been somewhere else to witness the crime. Okay. I am actually going to go with no. I believe she did. Something about it still doesn't feel right, but... okay, I guess I'm satisfied, sort of. I hope this has cleared up any doubts. Indeed, I believe it has. Hey, kitten. This is no time to play around. Huh? Overlooking such a huge contradiction. What am I going to do with you? Contradiction? That wasn't my imagination after all. Just a minute. What is it now, Miss Faye? I've got a big problem with what this witness said. I'd appreciate it if you didn't change your mind every 5 seconds. Okay, fuck it. Damn it. I don't know why it doesn't work, but... Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Oh, I guess I should have gone with my gut about that then. Finally. I finally got it. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was she happened to be passing by, she put the corpse in herself, she is the owner of the car. No. No, we know who the owner of the car is. Really? I don't think that's right, but I guess we're gonna go for it. There's only one way that the witness had had the chance to see those scratches. Yes? What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison car. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the trunk in the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. Oh! Oh, of course. Oh, God, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, because he stole the car from someone at a red light, which means that the car was already running, which means that, at least back in this kind of time, you would have had the keys in the ignition. Obviously, more modern cars have, like, kind of, like, wireless ways to start the engine and stuff like that, so you wouldn't necessarily have the car keys, but... He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have been, would have still been in the ignition. I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. But it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Preposterous. To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. I can explain that. Now's a chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why? It's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, she really did use the camera's auto timer, and the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question, we'll also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? I mean, there's one of two spots. It's either on this side of the bridge, or we could go with what Edgeworth was talking about before and say that it was actually here, because the bridge would have been complete at that point. Like, there's a chance here that Dahlia, Melissa, was actually the one that stabbed Valerie in the back. Shit. I'm gonna get penalized pretty hard here if I mess up, and I didn't save before this happened. Fuck. Can't even look at the court record either. Is there something that she said that would suggest which side it was she was on? I guess she did say she never got a good look at the killer. So I would presume then that this side is the one she was actually on, if that's true. But she could easily be lying about that, so I don't know if that actually holds. She would have also needed to be, like, concealed, too, to pull this off without, like, for example, Terry being able to testify that he saw Melissa. So I would say, like, in the bushes around here or in here. I don't know if, yeah, like, the left side seems to make most sense in terms of practicality, because if she has to set the camera up here, it's easier to probably get here than across the river. Like, she would have needed to walk across the bridge to do that. I'm gonna say... Naturally, the witness is standing right here. Well, what do you think, Miss Edgeworth? Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Miss Fay should do something herself. Oh, for fuck's sake. She should figure out where she stands if you catch my drift. Oh, don't worry. The drift was certainly caught. I'm gonna save here, then. Oh, actually, I could just load back and go back through that again. God damn it. Okay. Let's go back to here, present the thing, and go. Corpse herself. Couldn't have been caught. Yep. Yep. So then we point out the camera. Yeah, we'll save here. Wasn't in the field. Yep. Exactly, she's not in the field. This is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? Here, then? Naturally, no. Yeah. God damn it. Somewhere else. Okay, if she wasn't either side, then... like, on the ridge, maybe? In the car? Spot where the defendant's car was. Yes, she had to put the body in the trunk before the defendant returned. That doesn't make sense. You don't mind if I ask one teeny-weeny question, do you, Miss Faye? Uh-oh, he's got that condescending tone in his voice. She put the body in the trunk at that time, as you suggest. That must mean that Valerie Hawthorne was already dead at that point, correct? Indeed. Please take a look at the top of Dusky Bridge. Certainly looks to me like the victim is still alive. Am I mistaken? Oh. Oh, shit. That's not Valerie. That was her. If Valerie Hawthorne was already dead, then who is this? Mountain is famous for spirits, so maybe you think it was the ghost of the victim? Well, it could have been a spirit, right? Miss Faye, don't waste this call. I love how it every time just veers off into the fucking different place at the time. Are you certain, more or less? Oh, God damn it. Alright, well I've got a new theory then. Where was Melissa Foster when it happened? She was standing right here. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, order, order! Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. Hey Charles, how's it going? In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. Doing good, slightly sleepy. Yeah, I hear that. This case is like 6 years ago, by the way. We've time jumped yet again. You still don't understand, do you, Mrs. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. And who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's our own witness. Yay, more Mia. Yeah. Also more Edgeworth as a unrepentant piece of shit as well. Oh, and we'll get to him when the camera cuts to him, but there's someone else here that's interesting. Whoa, what? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. Yeah, this makes sense too, because we were running with the logic that the reason that a scarf was requested on the phone was because that Falls probably wouldn't recognize Valerie. So as long as the person that approached him was wearing the scarf, he wouldn't have thought otherwise. Wait, hold on. Wasn't she in another case? Yes, she was. She was in the first case of this game, funnily enough. Which I believe is that. So that case happened after this one. That was the first time Mia had encountered Phoenix, and she already had a few cases under her belt. This is her first case. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? Got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification. Namely, this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Did she just faint? I guess that solves that. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? So we know who Godot is now. Mr. Diego Armando, hotshot lawyer, my senior and rival at the office. He's a lawyer that used to work with Mia in Grossberg's office. That's who we've been up against during court cases in this game. Only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Huh. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court is in recess. Cool. Just 2 hours. Ugh. Ooh, do I have enough time to really go through... Okay. I will go through this, but I'm giving myself a little bit of an out here. If I get stuck too long on one question, I'm looking it up because I can't, there's some stuff I need to do before the end of the day, and... Oh, actually, no, I was thinking of still playing, I was thinking of, doing like a 14 stream tonight though, and I don't really want to say that'd be going until 5, and then I'd have FF14 till... Yeah, maybe I'll stop here. Oh, I guess I could make the 14 stream however long I want. Fuck it, let's go. I don't mind. I also feel like I got a far better grasp of this case now, so I should be fine. Mr. Falls, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up.
Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. This guy looks wild. Yes. Like, so if I were to bet on what's going on here, he was wrongly convicted of something that put him on death row. So he's been in isolation for 5 years. That'll mess a motherfucker up. So, yeah. Yeah, that tracks. Also, why is he biting the ball and from the ball and chain? Because character quirks? I don't know. It might actually be a thing to that, I don't know. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? I bet fucking Dahlia is involved in the case that got, Foles convicted. Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information? Right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that, Zebra Boy is on death row for.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie.
Mr. Foles, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago.
Okay, no, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dreamed of it every day. This picture reminds me of everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart at any minute.
So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years.
Huh. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute.
Rude? Bro, he's been locked away for 5 years in solitary. Fucking... No shit.
It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hall.
Okay, hold on. So... So Foles kidnaps Dahlia, is confronted by Valerie. Dahlia falls into the river, survives. Well, I knew she'd be involved in this case. I didn't think she was the one that was kidnapped. Because the implication, like, he was convicted of murder. Kidnap and murder of Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia was literally in court. Like, and the thing is, too, that, in the note left by Valerie, she says, talk to Dahlia. So she knew. What in the fuck is going on? Your girlfriend? Huh?
Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne?
The victim's last name. Oh my god! It was... Oh, fuck. I didn't even pick that up. They're related. Oh no. Oh shit, hang on a second. I just realized the chair mat is, squeezing up against the desk. I don't want that thing to bend. There we go.
Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister.
What? Are you serious? The girl. Let her go. Yes, this is what we saw at the very beginning of this episode. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry. but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it.
Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betray me. Betray us.
What do you mean she betrayed you?
Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too.
A make-believe kidnapping?
Talia. My girlfriend. My love.
My teen angel.
Oh.
Yeah, funny that. 5 years ago, eh? Good. Great. Thanks, Ace Attorney. Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas.
I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says.
Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by...
Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too.
Fucking... excuse me? Valerie was in on it?
Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We send it to her dad. Ask for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is usually a useful thing. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh?
Yeah, but that woman...
That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river.
Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you?
I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me.
That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw away my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. Dahlia could still be alive. That's Dahlia. Like, as the player, we know that's Dahlia. Either that... Well, either that... No, because that would line up too well. This is Dahlia. That was her name. That was her name in the original. That was her name in the first case. So, yeah.
These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forgot what she looked like, so I tell her to wear scarf. I don't want to hurt her. I just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear an answer come from her mouth, that's all.
So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that.
Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls. Where is it?
Huh? Where's what?
Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know.
Huh? You don't know?
No, really. I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia.
With Dahlia?
That day, on the bridge.
Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? 14. Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. Okay, at least we fucking pointed that out. God. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappeared into the river with a rock worth 2 million. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really alive? It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. $2 million gem used to ransom for Dahlia lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. Training wheels come off now, Maya. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. And we're back. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
You're a brave young lady.
Not this again.
I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get our client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? Certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. The motive, huh? I figure that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. Still acting as tame as a kitten. I really don't appreciate how condescending he is in literally every scene in this particular case.
Mr. Armando?
Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro.
Maybe so. I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge?
Well, of course, Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
Cool. Great. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional. She sure fucking is.
What do you mean?
Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her. Quick. She lights right up. God, I really want to go back and watch that first case again, because that probably, the dynamic between her and Hawthorne is probably makes a lot more sense with this context. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before, and I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago, or kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile.
You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case.
I was out of the country until last year. So, what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed... It was a brutal civil war. She had to... Oh, it was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I don't even have any personal identification. What kind of sub-story is this? What do I do? Should I press it for details? Press it harder. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in, and how many languages she may speak, are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. That is not true. Oh, actually, no, we haven't established her name yet. Fuck. Okay, sorry, jumping the gun there a bit. Because, like, bullshit. Fuck off. I feel like it would be a leap to just go, aha, but your name is mentioned in here, and try and establish that she is Dahlia from there. That's a bit of a leap. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. I'll press this again then. You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? First time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. Till I entered college, I've never been... I'm just gonna go for it. Fuck it. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, because we haven't established her name. That's fair. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant until I entered college. I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a two-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easy to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? Prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. Well, you know what's up, Edgeworth. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. A witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you. She's really gone too far. Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here. I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to become a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? Why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at that time, an officer showed her this photo. Seems like a rather serious mistake. Huh. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Actually, how do you know about that? How do you know about that? A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death? Yes, that's precisely why he has harbored such a deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Have it added to the testimony. Your Honor, what the witness just said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. And that testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. Lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando? Keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind. She's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Or kidnapping a poor girl. You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. Can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck-deep in this whole thing. Somehow you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. So out of the country until the year before last, naturally I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. Certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt them. Holding a grudge. I wonder if I can... Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Yeah. Gets his own guilt. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. She knows a bit too much about this, but I don't know what to present. I feel like she knows a bit too much about this, and I feel like maybe the scarf is it. Yeah. It's true. Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting. The note she left said, wear white scarf for identification. Yeah, like, I was looking for an excuse to use this, but I wasn't sure, like, which aspect of this testimony was, like, the easiest to connect it with, because now we can say, well, I mean, someone was actually told about this. A person named Delilah.
Yes, what about it?
Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it that the witness knows about it? Alright, I'm excited to see how this goes. Yeah, me too.
Order, order!
It is odd, isn't it?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show top-secret evidence to the witness?
Your Honor.
Certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing. Then she shouldn't know.
In that case, the only way the witness could know about this... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just... I saw it when it happened. With my own eyes. Yeah, you saw the white scarf. You didn't know that that was an important thing. When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him.
What?
That's why I assumed that the signal was a white scarf.
I suppose that makes sense.
Come on, Mia. You can't let her weasel out of that weasel out of it that easily. Witness? Sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true. That's what I saw. Impossible. There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him, because it wasn't white. You said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes. Is something wrong? That's what I'd like to know. Miss Foster, have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. Yeah, like, if you were presuming that the scarf was a signal, you wouldn't have said white scarf, you would have said blue. I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, it certainly is not white. You knew what the note said. She knew the contents of the note. No! It says, wear white scarf for identification. That's the reason why you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster?
Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation.
I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The one person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person.
Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten?
Yep. I'm gonna save here, because I actually don't know which thing I need to present to prove who this is. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... Dahlia. I want to go with we need to connect the name here. And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? Never heard that name before.
Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name, right there.
What's this? So, who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne?
Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life.
The dead?
Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago.
Killed in a crime? You don't mean...
Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. That doesn't warp it into reality, Edgeworth. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. Oh, okay, I guess the line he's going with is, okay, you can just say that, but we have decided that she is dead. You need to prove that she's alive. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she was still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are. Ah.
Even you couldn't... Miss Faye, you're not saying...
But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
This is like the other case. Yep.
Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a three-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist.
I understand. I can expose her true nature. I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Miss Edgeworth squirm.
Witness? Just who are you, anyway?
I'm... I didn't think it'd come to this.
That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness.
Yes, I understand.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself.
Your Honor, I have an admission to make.
I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes. The prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses.
What did he say?
Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go.
No way. But then why...
If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to...
the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Okay, he probably has a reason to do this, but out of context, it is real ballsy to just admit, yeah, the defense is correct. The witness was concealing her identity to the court. Like, okay, throw out her fucking testimony then.
But I thought she died 5 years ago.
We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see. Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years?
That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime.
Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder?
Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost.
How dare you?
Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Well, you see... I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me.
Ah, turnabout. Huh. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kid. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim.
Okay, Godot. That wasn't me, it was this guy. This crazy coffee addict.
I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Boy.
Sorry, I could have done that a bit more bassy. so free my mans, yeah. Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets.
You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course. Aren't I?
No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me?
The rashness of youth. How charming.
Fucking 20-year-old ass motherfucker. Shut your fucking goddamn mouth. It's coming from someone younger than me. Thank you, Mia. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye. Saving real quick. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye? Oh, that was the rashness of youth. Rashness of youth? Furthering such a stereotype. I don't know, ask Edgeworth. Fuck, okay, hang on. Let me think about this then. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? Well, it'd have to be what's in the note then, right? Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Yeah, because, like, this is kind of the same thing, but the note specifically tells us that Valerie was trying to reveal the truth of what happened 5 years ago, and Dahlia has presumably made off with the diamond, and she doesn't want to face consequences for that, so yeah, I think this is it. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. Terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the course, Miss Faye. What was this secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know the secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? Get it? He's Canadian. Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia? But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money, so I decided to change my identity and start a new life. Kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And where to believe after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor? As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. We're not allowed to fight, and let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info, that ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us in the lobby. I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by...
Yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie too.
Yes, that's it. Fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. "5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought... Okay, yeah. Sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid of it. Okay, so one thing that leaps out to me now, right at the moment, is if the exchange was made, and if the exchange was... The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. Okay. So that would place the diamond with Falls when he was shot. But the diamond was lost. Right? It's a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually that saved my life.
What do you mean?
You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me.
Wait, then how did he make... Wait, no. How did he make the exchange then if he was holding a knife in his right hand?
That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. Shoving me off the bridge.
I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment.
Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second. He gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin.
Bloodthirsty grin? Oh.
And in the next instant...
This is a fucking ballsy 14-year-old kid jumping off the fucking bridge by herself, I'll tell you what. I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift.
I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. Crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. Then just one little shove from behind, that was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. It's fine, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money, so I decided to change my identity to start a new life.
I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million?
It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk.
Mmm. $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I wanted to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there in the on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety.
What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is.
Yeah, right. It was all your plan.
Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain, and after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm.
I'm pretty sure this is the line of reasoning I need to follow. Lost to Eagle River 5 years ago. Like, this account doesn't explicitly talk about that, but I guess at the same time it doesn't rule out that it was lost. It's shaky. It's shaky reasoning. But I'm gonna give it a shot. No.
5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. I'm gonna press this then. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes. As a tutor. You were tutoring him? Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with a kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewellery trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did you just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? Wow, rude, Maya. There's a demon. Tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was kidnapped again. And that's why you hid your identity. Yes, I only told my sister. Valerie Hawthorne, eh? Yes, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And do you think I killed her? There's no way I could.
There's a moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is.
I've just got to prove that kidnapping was a hoax. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond my sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. What did we say for pressing this again? I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed, I turned to run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a bloodthirsty grin. In the next instant, yeet. I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 meters really swift. I was a strong swimmer. I came to it and carried it in a strange place. I'll never forget that day, the crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. And just one little shove from behind, that was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. So, Falls' account of this doesn't mesh with that. Like, Falls was saying that, Falls said that, Dahlia jumped off the bridge herself. The only piece of evidence we have is the diamond. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Like, that's probably limiting what I'm thinking about here. Ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. That was a dangerous thing to do considering, yeah. Yes, but actually that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding it in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. So Mr. Falls tried to kill me by Fuck. I'm missing something here. It's always these kind of, like, opening, like, contradictions that I always seem to have struggle with. Once it kind of gets going, I'm always pretty good at, like, snatching up what the game is putting down, but it's always these, like, beginning bits that I'm kind of rough with. I don't understand how that... Okay. It is... So I didn't look at the whole thing, I wanted to give myself a little hint, but it is this. I believe it's the map. 5 years ago I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. The exchange shot him in the arm, shoving me from behind. Survived, but I was afraid I might... Okay, so... And the only thing that talks about, like, positioning, which is the only thing that the map would actually contradict, is this statement, I think? Save. Save.
Addiction!
I'm not sure I grasp what it's... Oh, hold on a second. The gap in the bridge is right over the rocks. If her claim is that Falls pushed her off the bridge, she would have landed on the rocks. I think that's what this is saying? Or where this is going to go? Say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked if the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge. Now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you have claimed... Okay, so there's something a little iffy about this. Dahlia was saying that she tried to run past the killer, but we both, in the picture, they're both beside each other. I don't know if, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right. The events occurred just as the witnesses testified, and the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. The suspension bridges are... If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Miss Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now. when I fell off the bridge. Like, this is basically coaching the witness at this point, right? Every time Edgeworth objects to throw in, like, a comment like this, it's always like, oh yes, I conveniently remember that now. Like, fuck. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious. Order! Order in the court! It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is not the time. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Miss Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Fawkes panicked. Oh, Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous! What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Witness photo? Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Yeah, like, you can't push someone over the side. You need to, like, lift them over. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. That's not what she testified. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. Ah. More importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Eat shit, Edgeworth. Order, order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Why did he do a tiger roll? Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what is it? What's so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life to... am I gonna get it to pause? No. Well, I mean, it's gotta be that. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. Ah! No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Uh-oh. Why, that's simply ridiculous! Order, order, order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective, then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you had hatched your demonic plan to kill two birds with one stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. I have completely lost track of this case. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, that's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman, Miss Mia Fey. You could certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that... Well, Miss Fey? I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Oh, of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Without evidence, the trial's over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come on now, kid. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There is only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person who could testify to that demon woman's crimes? That would be Terry. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on this situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is Terry Falls. Oh shit. This is going long. Well, Miss Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes?
I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million.
That's not true.
Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge. Who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised. Never ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia? It's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Oh no. This is gonna go bad.
Dahlia.
I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, you'll also be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Water, please. Water. Can't talk. Need water.
Oh well. I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Yeah, that's probably a bad idea then, Armando. Darker, bitter than hell itself. Thanks, man. You're a real pal.
That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. I watched my car from bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia.
Ow. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Faye. Oh, so you're allowed to coach the witness and not us. Got it. Thanks, Edgeworth. Fucker. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence?
There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think.
That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. Hang on. 4 and 5 p.m. We had other times, didn't we? 4:30 at that bridge. So there was half an hour between him arriving and potentially him seeing Valerie. Well, Valerie. She wasn't there, so I waited. Hang on. Press everything here. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. Thank you. You certainly arrived early, didn't you?
It was raining. Already dark, too.
You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls?
Eel Mountain. That spot. Strong memories.
Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct?
Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a simple question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like the blink of an eye.
Oh, so he's a dragon from 14? Watched my car from bridge. I never put on no body in that car. You were watching the car?
That bridge. Other side is broken. Nobody could come from there. So, I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do?
I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. Contradiction.
I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came.
She stood in front of me. doesn't that contradict the photo that was taken? Hang on. Because he said he was there first. He said he was there first, and then a woman came across. The bridge is only one way because it's broken in the middle. So this should actually be reversed. Like, Falls should be where Valerie is standing right now. I think that's the contradiction here. I don't know if I can press it here, though. Because, like, Mia did say, contradiction, maybe? And, like... Yeah, oh, yeah, right, it's here. Right, because this is where we went, yeah, you waited on the bridge. No, it was this statement. Yeah, okay, cool. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're sure, huh? Well then, I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying.
Huh?
Oh no. Hi, Jess Greg, how's it going? Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. A tad bit late. Yeah, it's just a little late. But, I mean, it's the good part of the case. Also, I'm going to turn the light on. It's getting a little too dark in here. Now that the sun's kind of disappearing. Might be a tad bright, but, I mean, better than being too dark, I guess. Just look at this photo, it's perfectly clear. Obviously the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Okay, we get it. He's biting the fucking ball. Mr. Falls? Oh, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth.
I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. Special place.
Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge?
Yeah. It's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other.
You met good old Diego. I sure did. That was a revelation.
Swore we'd betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love.
A memento?
5 years ago, I hid it under the base of under base of tree there.
Oh, that sack of shit.
It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get.
This little bottle on a necklace is your memento? That's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. Ugh. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. I need to catch up. Well, luckily I highlight everything so you can catch up as much as you want. It's all there. Indeed. There certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? What?
That's enough. Please.
Witness?
I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens, that we can't trust each other no more.
Oh my god, oh no! Oh no! Oh, fuck. It just all clicked. Damn it.
Can't trust each other no more. Then we're supposed to drink bottle.
No! Stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess.
I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this.
No, we're so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence.
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again.
Mr. Falls!
Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee.
Mr. Falls! And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne. She left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face.
Unforgivable. That witch.
Mr. Armando? So Falls put the poison in the coffee? Yeah, I think that's why he asked for water. So he could, like, mix it in or whatever.
It was so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten.
Excuse me? It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty.
I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this.
Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
Mr. Armando? No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. I actually don't know who was voicing that. That might have been Godot. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I, myself, got wrapped up in that case. Oh, yeah. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. You're just really trying the tough love approach. I don't think it's working. Well, no, it's more like, hey, no, you need to keep up a strong face, and then he kind of signals that no, he is furious as well because of like crushing the coffee. Like that, yeah, he wasn't like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I guess that's what he's going for, but it really comes off like far more condescending than just being like kind of tough. I don't know. It's, yeah. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, and now something has happened that's made me remember all this. He does seem to be in the hospital, which is concerning. Ugh. Damn. Yeah, in this whole case, if we didn't knew they were a couple, he would sound way worse. Wait, what? They were a thing? I didn't get that from that at all. In fact, I don't know, that puts a slant on it that I'm actually kind of feel is actually worse. Like, it makes more sense when it's kind of more of a rookie thing, but like, I don't know, that's a, Also, just another, like, yeah, a relationship between a teacher and a student kind of thing is also not great either. Oh, anyway, that's it. I'm done for today. They said it in the first case. Oh, well, yeah, it's been a while since I it's been a while since I did the first case, so like there are details about this particular episode that probably would have stuck out to me a bit more if I had actually remembered that, but I didn't know it was coming, so I didn't think I need to review it. Yeah, that was a fucking great episode. I really like. Obviously, the grander cases are a lot more exciting in a lot of ways, but I really like the trial-only cases because they have to do something very creative, or they have to do a lot with that Mia's boyfriend got poisoned. Are you talking about future events? Because I don't think that's been explained to me. Or at least that's the... I don't know if you're spoiling stuff, Greg, but like, if this is stuff that's touched on in the next episode, like, please stop. Because we still, like, Diego and Godot haven't been connected together yet, and I suspect that, like, his relationship with Mia is going to become important. So, like, no? Okay, if that's the case, then that's fine. But, yeah. I'm probably going to go rewatch my reactions to the first case anyway, so maybe it will clear up things for me, but, yeah. Anyway. That's for another day. So, yeah. I'm probably going to do a little short 14 thing tonight, maybe. Either that or I'm going to just stream Tuesday night. I kind of want all of Tuesday off, though. That was the whole point, that a lawyer named Diego Armando got poisoned. I'm not spoiling. Okay, yeah. Well, like, sorry. The reason I say I hope you're not spoiling is because I haven't gone back to review the first case. Obviously, you seem to know, you recall more about the first case than I do. I'm just saying from a place of ignorance of what was in the first case and what wasn't, that, yeah, obviously don't. But, yeah, it's neither here nor there. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so maybe 14 tonight. I'll probably take Tuesday just entirely off so I don't... I never said that he was Godot. Okay, fair enough. Well, no. I didn't say you said he was Godot. I said we haven't connected Diego to Godot yet, and I feel like there's going to be a whole thing about bringing everything together, and that details like what happened in the first case, what happened in the fourth case, and everything that... Well, and a lot of our experience with Godot is going to be contextualized in that. So... yeah. Like, I wasn't saying you were saying that. I was saying that that particular bit and Godot's relationship to Diego hasn't been established, where there clearly is, like, some kind of connection between the two, and that will start to involve everything to do with Mia and that. Like, the point I was making was that we haven't reached the end of this whole arc, Yeah, sorry about the confusion. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, sorry. I want to wrap up because I'm fucking starving. Yeah, so maybe some 14 tonight. Probably just going to take Tuesday off entirely because it's my last day off, and I'm going to do whatever the hell I like. I'll probably resume streaming either Wednesday or Thursday this week. I haven't decided yet. I'll probably make that decision on the day, honestly, because it depends on work. And yeah, then we'll go into another week. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely day. I just had a thought. Maybe we should check out who's streaming so I could raid someone, since I have a few people around. Few people. I sure will have a feast. Probably a burger. I don't know. I still haven't decided yet. No, I don't really see anyone. Damn. Okay. That's a shame. I guess it's that kind of time zone thing that there's just not going to be anyone I usually watch or anything. Thanks for the follow, Jess Greg. I really appreciate that. Why is the alert box up there? Thank you for following so I could adjust that. I didn't realize that was off-center like that. Anyway, yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.